It's not looking slow. We just doing it for tonight.
Okay, Naeem, if you're gonna talk to someone, just mute your mic for me.
My bad.
You good. Okay, so this is mainly just gonna be for Chew. We're gonna do both maps for him. I'm streaming it and then just gonna send it to him after, but since, Tusky wanted to do off-tank ones, figured. Okay, just make sure you're being careful on this rotation not to get booped either from the D.Va or the Lucio. Good eat for Naeem. Yeah, that's fine. Good eat for Naeem. You want to make sure that if you can, you're trying to get the most value out of using your kinetic grasp. There it is. Getting the most value out of kinetic grasps. If you watch Overwatch League, sometimes, especially in a double shield, double flex meta, the Sigma will actually use his kinetic grasp to eat any of the damage that's coming in onto the drone if they need it. So basically, it's like if it's let's say they're hard pushing, they focus you down, everyone's low, we throw out lamp, and we need that lamp to last a little bit longer than than how fast it's going to take them to burn it down. The Sigma uses kinetic grasp to make sure it lasts a little bit longer, and it also gives you shields as the Sigma, and it gives more time for our supports to make sure the whole team is healed up. I say it was a good eat from you because in that sense, what you're doing is you're doing that for Naeem as he was rolling out. He was one. You doing that just saved his life. Okay, again, you need to. I'm not sure where the fuck. Yeah, okay. Everyone else is making the rotation, so you just need to start backing up here. This should have been called by your team, but you will still make it out of this alive. You're pretty tanky. Yeah, we were playing really split here. Good shield through. Good. Good rock. Yeah, make sure you're flicking out that barrier back and forth. You're trying to use that to block big cooldowns. So for them, this would be either big cooldowns or you're using it for any any burst of damage. So let's say like 3 people turn around a corner or the Reaper, that kind of thing. So for in this instance, for big cooldowns, you would be looking to block Hack, Micro Missiles, and Reaper as soon as he comes in. Good eat, shield up, nice, shield back down. Good attempt on the rock, that's fine.
That music, it's playing again. Observe the barrier.
Good rock. Okay, at this moment, we have 3. Where's Chase? 4. Okay, you don't. Let's see who you got in your sights. You're not going to really have much follow-up if you go for it here. Now, this is exactly when you see 2 people. Most likely, there's going to be a third behind them, and well, not most likely, but in this case, there is a third behind him. Okay. Forget what I just said there. Since they used beat in that prior engagement, you're gonna have a free flux here. Okay. So when we're pushing in, we're looking for a pull flux. Once we do, focus the people who are in air, burn them down, yada yada. But make sure you're not just basically the people that you're gonna want to try to get up in this flux. You're either looking for tanks or you're looking for Lucio. Sombra most likely should not be getting caught in the flux. Moira can fade out. Reaper can fade out. It's going to be hard to get really good value from this flux unless we get a disgusting pull flux, or at least not a lot of value. Not necessarily we won't get a lot of value, but we won't get a massive ult from it. Unlucky. Yeah. Yeah, that's unlucky. That's fine. Okay. After you see this comp, how I would prefer you to play on Sig is you're playing on an off angle from your Orisa. Even though they can just wall Orisa and push at you, what you being on an off angle does, it pressures them. So, like, let's say Naeem gets walled and we are on an off angle, right? The May's going to try to freeze Orisa or, put some good damage into the Orisa. If we're on an off angle poking down either the Reaper, poking down the May, trying to get a kill on the Lucio or the Moira, we're doing much more than behind an ice wall, especially since we have Sunless and Chase who can either fan the wall or just pop nades at it, right? So Orisa for the most part is going to be fine as long as we're focusing wall as soon as it comes up. If you're on this off angle, you can pressure them enough that hopefully either May uses ice block, Ryan's forced to turn and shield you and not focus the Orisa, Reaper's forced to use his Wraith, Amp for the Lucio, Orb for the Moira, that kind of thing. So, since we're like this, if you wanted to rotate to the top right, that's also giving you another window of pressure. Also, Chase can be up with you, poking them down from the side, as Naeem focuses them from the front. Nice. Make sure when wall comes up, we're calling for what specific block needs to be hit. Left, right, or middle. Good. Make sure if you have to flux for the Reaper's damage, make sure you're calling that we focus him to either force Wraith or kill him, because him not doing any damage is not going to heal him fast enough at all, and you sucking up all of his damage, he's going to be a free kill if he doesn't have Wraith per se. Don't just rock shields. You need to make these rocks purposeful. Whether that be on because all you did there was damage the shield just a little bit more. It doesn't do as much. So, like right there, you could have used the rock against the Reaper instead of a shield. We win this fight, but with a play like that, you could have won this fight a little bit faster. And this Reaper might not have been able to touch. That's fine. You tried to go for the rock there. Make sure you're poking, trying to build up this alt charge. You need to get flux as fast as possible, so start spraying out like that. Don't eat fire strikes. So, we're holding a little too passive. I already talked about this in the team VOD review for this map. But posting up right here and just poking down the Rhine, just to get that little bit more alt charge so that when you have flux, that you're going to have flux when they push in. That's how you're going to build it constantly and fast enough. Again, you don't have to always play with the team. Playing on an off angle is perfectly fine too. It's in some cases even better. In most cases, it's even better. Good rock on the D.Va. That might not have been intentional onto the D.Va, but by you rocking her, D.Va couldn't eat the high noon.
Heroes never die.
Good attempt. Good shot. Yep, you keep pushing him. You keep pushing him. I would have stayed closer. They're not going to have respawns back for at least a little bit. Okay, so as soon as the Moira calls, we should try to look for a flux here. One, it forces them to be, they can't be aggressive when they're all sucked up into the air. And the coal is going to be used for healing, but she also can't fade out. So if we were able to combo it with something, so like let's say we had like a Reaper, and we were to use Sigil and then Blossom, as soon as that Moira slams to the ground, the Reaper's going to do the rest of the follow-up. As soon as you hear that sound cue, try to go for the eat. Like, that play that the Mei did was really risky. If we can start reacting to those sound cues by using the suck on it, then that would have won us the fight right there. Or at the very least, we lose the fight, but we get ults out of them. More ults out of them. Again, make sure we're using our rock for purposely, not just to shoot a shield. If there's like a high probability that the Ryan's gonna block it with his shield, just don't use it. Okay, Baby D.Va is a little bit less important than the Mei is. Good. Make sure you're tracking him, especially if he comes back to point like that. Here we go. Again, as soon as we hear that sound cue, look for the Mei immediately and press Kinetic Grasp. You definitely would have been able to eat that Mei.
This is not your time.
Like, besides that one rock, or not rock, one Mei wall on King's Row, this Mei is being horrendously stupid with her Mei ult. Again, no. If we have this much any percentage that's at like 80% or even like 70%, play more aggressive to try to get that. Right up until now, you should be at that pillar trying to poke for ult. I guarantee you would have had it. Once you get ult, you start backing up a little bit. You can play less aggressive and wait for them to push through, and then you get your ult off. Okay, try not to, when you use Flux, try not to point it directly where the halt is. Try to make sure it's, like, if they're trying to push in aggressively, like let's say you hear speed boost, or they start moving at you fast if you don't hear it. Try to put, like, the very back edge close, like, okay, so let's say the halt, you know, you got your halt right in the middle, okay? If all of the team are right in front of it and they escape the halt and they start running forward, but the supports are still pushing through and they're using speed, or if they're just trying to push through, try to put the Flux where the edge of the Flux is almost like, I'd say like a foot or two back from the pool, so that when you're sucking everyone up as they're pushing forward, you're still going to collect more people than just the Moira. Good D-Mac. Good try. That was a good rock though. Good. So again, whenever you're using rock, make sure that we're purposefully using it. We're not just throwing it out there and hitting a Rein shield. Sigma's cooldowns aren't like a character like let's say like Tracer. It's not a character like Tracer where using you know, where you can use your abilities off cooldown almost for, you know, for relative purposes. But make sure we're using every single one of our abilities to get the most value that we can. And that includes rock. That includes kinetic grasp. TP in. Okay, when that ball rolls through, try to pull him. Like, you could pull it at least 3 times at this point. Nice, good focus. Pull the baby D.Va to, yep, make it easier. Good pull. That's fine. I would have stayed there to poke some more, try to build your ult. Okay, so when I remember this being called of when we popped Bongo being too early or late. You had the right idea, but for where they were, you want to make sure you're using Bongo so that they're either forced to commit to the fight, or, well, honestly, you're basically using Bongo early is you trying to force them to commit to the fight. Here, all this does is buy you 10 seconds for Bongo to go down. Since they're not even into the square yet, when you wanna pop Bongo is when either they're at the shield, or like just about to walk through, because as soon as you walk through, they're either forced to come into point or they have to hide here. And even if they hide here in the courtyard, your Bongo will still get value because you'll be able to push out to here. But if you place it right here, they're just gonna hide behind here, and as soon as you pop out here, you're barely, you know, if you're holding outside this door are you gonna get the effect of Bongo. So when you popped it, you did pop it too early. You, again, specifically for this point, you want to make sure that they're in the courtyard or almost touching the courtyard before you pop it. I would have swapped to D.Va, but I mean that's again, you already won, so make sure for these stall situations you would just use Bongo. You could have swapped over to D.Va. Okay, that's the first one. I can touch on other stuff towards the end of it, but let's go to Hollywood.
Welcome. Ready for battle. Ready for battle. Defend objective A.
Let's get a move. Group up here.
Okay, you need to use your pull when they're making a rotation, either when they're rotating from server into this area, or when they're making this rotation to the right, you want to shoot the pool. Like so as tanks walk through, you want to shoot your pool like right here. Basically what this does is it separates them, and I think we do get a separation kill onto the BAP, but so basically you're separating them or forcing them to use more cooldowns. For them, if everyone's focusing down this, the max that they want to use to get through this choke is either Sig Barrier or Sig Kinetic Grasp. That is all they want to use. They don't want to use Lamp. They don't want to use Orisa Shield. They don't want to have to use McCree Roll. They don't want to have to use, anything important to them. Big and important. So by you halting right here, it will force them either to use more important cooldowns like Orisa Shield, like the Roll, like the Immortality Field, then instead of them just using, what they wanted to use and rolling through for free. The pool is basically, it threatens them, or it can entirely split them up. You get the pick, they're going to have, and half their team's over here, and the other half are over here when you get the pick. They're forced to either come back out and use those cooldowns, or they're forced to go back and reset. So, right here, that's when you use it, right there.
Please move behind the barrier.
Good pull. If you can get any kind of height advantage for an angle like this, jump on the table and just look past the height difference.
For your safety, please move behind the barrier.
Don't shoot the Sig Grasp. When you pull, don't pull straight at them, because all they're going to do is either eat it, or it's just, the follow-up damage onto your halt is just going to hit shields. Pull right where the McCree is so that it's out a little bit, and it's possible that 1 or 2 hits is going to be able to hit the Rista past the shield, even though it's like a very narrow window. Again, put your shield down. Okay, you've already used Fortify, you've already used Shield. Yeah, as soon as your armor is gone, you should be looking to drop here. Because you don't want to have Laz be forced to use Lamp. Like that. Good attempt. This is when you drop. Skin of your teeth. Ah, there's a good lamp from the BAP. Okay, if they use that Amp Matrix, do not take this angle again. They have already won the shield war, and you can't do anything about that. You're about to have bongos. If you die here, you will absolutely lose this fight. Okay, now the Amp Matrix is gone, you can push up there. Okay, personally, I saw that Mercy was low. I would have instantly tried to focus her. If you're able to kill her while she's using Flux, that's perfect for you. Go for the pull on the Echo. Using your pull for just to halt someone so it's easier for you to aim still gets value for you, especially if you get the kill. You could have on that Echo. Unlucky you didn't get on the tree. Should have fortified a little bit faster. Would have been able to get... honestly, if you would have fortified a little bit faster there, we might have been able to win this fight just because, one, Maddie gets the pick, and you would have survived just that little bit longer for Maddie's Transcendence healing to reach you.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Okay, we're just waiting around here. We need to be trying to take the high ground. Somebody does eventually call it, but it's very slow. Okay, you're fighting a... Is that a... Okay, you're fighting a 3v5, I'm pretty sure. At least 3v5 or 3v6. Basically everyone is on this high ground, and we're just having a pissing contest with them as the cart moves through second. We need to be pushing forward and being more aggressive. So as soon as everyone's up here, we make a beeline straight towards their team. And as we do it, use the pull so we can follow up that damage, and then we push forward and we can still capitalize on it. So that shield should have been pushed even further to where they're standing right now, so that we'll be able to capitalize on them. We make the rotation too late onto point. Fortify. Oh. Shield down, shield down, shield down, shield down. Oh, this fight was so horrible. Shield, shield, shield. There you go. Fortify. As soon as your shield bursts and you know you're going to take a shit ton of damage, fortify instantly.
There is no obligation for the universe to make sense to you.
Heroes never die.
Good rock. Yep, good suck. Forcing your shield back. Rock, you don't have rock. That was good though. You played that as best as you could.
No, that wasn't right at all.
Remember, we're trying to flick our shield out for big cooldowns. For Echo, it's sticky bombs. Okay, and I explained this to somebody the other day. Might have been Naeem when he was playing Sig. Yeah, I think so. For Sig specifically, he has so many different abilities to use as his tanking. He has his kinetic grasp, he has his shield, but also he has his large health pool, okay? You have 400 HP total with shields. Your shields are going to grow back. So taking some of the damage that's going to come in on you, so lighter damage, so it's just going to chip away at you, maybe 100, something like that, right? You want to take some of that so that you can give your shield time to upcharge, and then you can give your kinetic grasp cooldown time to get back off of cooldown. Yeah, that you need to make sure that you're not overly taking damage from your health pool. Flick your shield back, good. Yep, shield up here, nice. Shield forward, shield forward. Good rock. Okay, the angle that you want to hold is to the right by the dumpster. That's the angle that you want to hold because you're going to be putting up with a crossfire here, supposedly. Sunless should be on the back right or on the top high ground. Chase should be either on the left behind the Mega or on top, either way. That gives you another angle that you're poking them from besides from where your hit scan are playing. You're not trying to bounce your your primary off of walls to try to hit them. There's a couple of shots that you probably could have hit. Yep, good. You're eating it. Shield, shield. Okay. Whenever they use Matrix, you want to get relatively safe, and then you want to flux immediately. Because if you flux and you catch up anyone who's trying to use that Amp Matrix, that completely negates their ult. You're basically ult trading with a chance to be able to do more damage and win the fight by using that signal.
Barrier no longer exists.
That's big. Good flux. Good. I would have waited till after drone was dead before using rock, but it's fine. Good flick on the mercy. Yes, please be very careful. Don't die. Again, so from this angle, you can shoot them from the cover that's right behind them, or the wall that's right behind them, to do damage even before they come to that corner. It's going to bounce off and it's going to hit them if you're at the, the sweet spot range. You need to do that more so you're building ult faster.
Barrier is unstable. Barrier is out of resistance. Observe the barrier.
Good stun on the ball.
Ready for battle.
There is no.
Ready for battle. Defend objective A.
And Carson, if you need assistance.
Yep.
Here it comes.
Good, I like that. You were taking a little bit of damage on your shield and then you were swapping over to your kinetic grasp. But we just weren't fast enough and supports didn't make it through the rotation, which arguably your Ana shouldn't have tried to make it under to where you are. She could have been able to heal you from the choke on the right, or she could have been able to heal you from where she was originally before you made the cross. So instead of destroying shields here, bounce hyperspheres off this top and you'll be able to hit them. Instead of just trying to break shields here. Good rock.
Barrier in place.
That's fine. Only thing you needed to change in that situation was make sure you're bouncing your primary.
Haven't we done this
And
before?
shielding the cross from that original cross that you made. From where your Hanzo is what I mean.
Group up with me.
Barrier in place. Claiming the objective.
Good rock. Big rock, big rock. Okay, again, that's another situation you could have used kinetic grasp for Naeem. Okay, you rotated the wrong way. You rotated to the left. If that Bastion had good aim and he was focusing you, I don't know if you would have made it all the way through this flux, but either way, you did good with the moving up and down. Make sure when you're using flux that their Sigma has used rock, or you're in a safe enough position that he won't be able to hit you. So let's rotate this back just for a second. I want to show you what I mean. Okay, as you do this, you want to rotate to where, Maddie is sitting right now. So come out here to line up the flux, see where you're hitting, make sure you connect it on. Once you do, then you come over to this side, you try to poke out, back and forth, flying, and then most likely what's that doing is preventing your Bastion. Who the fuck is he shooting? Yeah, he's focused on Sunless right now. Like, let's slow this down. I want to see who he starts focusing. Yeah, he starts switching focus to you, but if he had, like, better aim, he would have probably melted you down before you could finish Flux. So rotating this way prevents any, damage from the Bastion, and it's making sure that the Sig won't be able to hit you with Rock, knocking you out of your ult. I don't even know how you got the fucking Bastion with it, dude. That's actually kind of crazy. Good Rock. Put the shield at the Bob so that you're not taking any damage. Good. Good connection.
Payload moves in a corner.
Okay, your Ana should be on payload. You need to be pushed up to that high ground. But they already took it since they died late. So you're doing fine here, just making sure you're moving payload. Yep, as you make the rotation, use your abilities to block damage. Okay, they use 2 ults, you need to start kiting. And this does get the Bastion killed, I do remember this. Fucking stupid, this guy. You're going, no, as soon as you, okay. We were able to focus down the Bastion, but as soon as the call is made for the Bastion, or as soon as you hear that Bastion, you rotate over there so that you're helping your team. You're the one with defensive abilities against something like that compared to Sunless or Chase. They have their Coach Gun and then Leap for them or Wall Climb, but the Bastion will still be able to hit them and burn them down compared to you who has a high health pool and you have Connect, Grasp, and Shield against that. Yep, take the high ground. Oh, so unlucky. Good focus on the Hanzo. Good rock, good primary on that. You bounced it off the wall. That was good. Yeah, it's fine.
Let's get the payload moving again.
That music, it's playing again.
Crap, dude. That's big. So they use Immortality Field. They have no defensive ult against this. So let's slow this down to see what you do. Okay. Okay. Never mind. I don't even need to see what you do. Everyone else kind of frags. Okay, Kart's gonna get capped. You should be pushing up here. Good play from you. Shield, shield, shield. Good. I called the shield just because I knew Name might have died if we hadn't. Okay, when you see that dynamite coming through, try to shield so it either falls in front of you or you follow it, or you block the follow-up damage onto it. That's unlucky that he caught you in it. No, as soon as you can, okay. So as soon as your kinetic grasp is done, you want to try to look for the rock onto the Sig. If you shut down his ult with that rock, that is massive value. You just canceled someone, you know, one of their biggest ults with a cooldown. So as soon as that kinetic grasp is out, you're looking for that rock as soon as possible. I like the off angle, that's good. The Ashe was right behind you though. Yep, shooting the Hanzo next. Good try on the rock on the Doomfist, that was good. Rock, rock. Good try. Good try on the rock.
Score 3-3. Initiate. Initiating. Four, 3, 2, 1. 60 seconds remaining. Defend objective A.
Battle begins.
So personally, after watching the VOD review, you know, earlier this week, as in for the team, the reason that we've lost this point is because we didn't take two separate angles for our snipers. If you want to play a 3-3 split, so that means one of your snipers, your Mercy, and you are playing on the left side by the dumpsters behind this building to your left. And the other three are playing straight through the main choke. That's going to divide their shields, making it, one, easier for you to win the shield fight. Yes, it'll take longer to burn down one of those shields for the groups, you know, separately, but you're burning those shields down that at the same time, or you're forcing more cooldowns out of them, or forcing rotations out of them. Either way, by taking that, you know, that separate angle, that's going to do a lot more work than you just sticking by your Orisa. So I would take an off angle, call for the off angle from Chase, especially since they're holding up here. If they were holding on low ground, that's a different story. You know, you just want to either take high ground or you want to take the head-on, you know, the head-on fight against them. Good rotation from you to the right. Shield. Good rock. Okay, you rotated too far out. You need to be hugging this wall. You could have pushed forward to try to kill the Hanzo. I would have pushed up aggressively to try to stop the Mercy from rezzing, and we kind of just get cocked after that. So I think you played that fine. You took a good angle on that right side. You got some really good spam damage. You almost had your ult built by that time. Couple of things, when you went out to the car to chase the Hanzo, you could have just stuck on the, hugging the wall and pushed forward to be able to shoot him. And I would have been a little bit more aggressive to try to prevent that res.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming.
Fully.
Defend objective A.
Stay close to me and I will protect you.
Barrier in place.
Yo, where? Okay. Name. I'm just telling you now. You just threw this. You just threw this first point. You needed your shield up as soon as, like, you didn't have any shield, and because of that, the Hanzo was able to thread the needle onto our BAP. I mean, and besides that one shield being on the low ground, that was pretty tough too, so that's fine. Yep, you need to rotate the low ground. Good rotation from you to go to the right. Good eat. Shield, 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 shield. There you go. Ah, you almost ate the Hanzo arrow. That's bullshit. Good try for you, dude. You tried to do as best you could there, but a lot of different mistakes from the team in general that were made. Okay, so for Orisa, we need to be placing, a shield on cooldown when we're in the fight. At least in like right in the thick of it. Pull. You're not using pull enough, and when you do, I think it's sometimes a little bit too late. So honestly, if you want to be greedy with pull, be greedy with pull just to get, confirm a kill. I do that quite often, where if somebody's out of position, using that pull to, halt them from moving, obviously, but you're also making it easier for you to beeline your shots right onto the person. And, you're punishing their positioning. I thought Fortify usage was okay. Yeah, everything else was fine, I think. And again, that Bongo, make sure anytime they're pushing through, when you're using Bongo, you're making sure that you're either forcing them to hide in a bad position for them, or you're forcing them to take the fight straight to you. That's them using cooldowns like cooldowns or alts like Lamp, like Cole, like Orb, like all of their Diva Matrix, that kind of thing. So you're trying. That's the biggest value you're getting out of Bongo. Besides that, increasing your damage to actually win the fight. You're forcing them onto you, and you're forcing their hand, or you're forcing them into a bad position. Either way. For Sig. Oh, and make sure we're using Halt on the rotations that they make to split them up as they walk through. This will force more cooldowns out of them. I already explained it. For Sig, I think you're doing a really good rotation between all of your defensive abilities. Try to tank a little bit more damage with your own personal health, and try to weave that in there as well. Anytime the Sig alts, try to look for their rock onto him. If you can't if you can't hit it, I would still try to go for it, because that's just a very huge value play. That if you actually manage to get that, so 3 in 10, or 3 out of 10 times, if you hit that rock, that is a mega value play. Make sure we're using rock smartly, and we're not just throwing it at shields. We're using it to cancel abilities, like let's say for your Cole. That's just for an example. Or we're using it smartly, smart, to force them from engaging on us. So if they're pushing hard with out a shield. Let's say like the Rhine has no barrier and he's pushing hard on you. You're rocking him. What you did on Li Jiang to hit the D.Va with when she was trying to DM the High Noon, that was a very huge rock. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all about I really have. And I honestly, Sig is right now the best thing to play and is meta, so that's what we needed to be focusing on, so that was fine. Other than that, yeah, that's all I have. So, good job. Oh, actually, name, toss, do either of you have questions? Well, they're not here, so rip.